Hey, what's up everybody? It's me, Just Keeks, back here with a brand new video for y'all. And in today's video, I'm gonna be going over my top 8 favorite anime that was released in 2025 that were my favorite. So, this is my list. This is my opinion on the anime that I enjoyed that came out last year. All new stuff, so like no new seasons, so you know Doctor Stone, Fire Force, My Hero Academia, any old show that had a new season that came out last year, won't be on this list. So it's all like new stuff that came out. Anyways, with that said and done, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into the list. All right, first up at number 8, I have Magic Maker: How to Make Magic in Another World, an isekai series about a young man who at the age of 30, he's you know hasn't partaking in you know any acts with a woman, so to speak, because he believes there's a belief that if you reach the age of 30 and you stay a virgin, you gain magical powers. I guess that's a thing in Japan because I've come across like other series with that kind of concept in it. So I guess that's like some kind of like urban legend thing in Japan over there, which is kind of cool and kind of weird, I guess. But anyways, this guy basically he stays a virgin until he's 30, and he's expected to like become like a wizard, and then he just has a heart attack. So then he's reborn in a world in a fantasy world, which he has, of course, he has all his memories from his previous life. So he expects, since this is like now he's reborn in this fantasy world, he can learn magic. Only to find out that magic doesn't exist in this world from what everybody's telling him, but he goes on to discover it himself. And it's like over the course of the series, or at least like the first season, no idea if we're getting like a season 2. That's kind of like up in the air. I've heard that it wasn't renewed, but I was trying to look up that info again and I couldn't find it. But anyways, yeah, he basically learns that magic does exist in this world, and he finds ways to utilize it and and teach other people how to do it. And it's pretty much a laid back series. It's pretty light. There's not really like any like there's a big bad that comes into play later, and I have to say like the big bad is kind of like a cliche villain in sort of way, and he's pretty dealt with like easily. And then they reveal a lot of stuff at the end of this season that would play into season 2, which I hope we do get a season 2. But I've done like a full review of like the first episode on this, so if you want to go check that out, you can. But anyways, number 8, Magic Maker. Did you enjoy Power Rangers growing up? Do you like the isekai genre? What if you combine the two? And that's where number 7 on the list comes in. The Red Ranger Adventures in Another World. The Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world, sorry. Is about a young man, part of a Power Rangers type like team known as Kazuna 5. And in the final battle with their like big bad main antagonist, um, he is caught up in an explosion and he wakes up in another world. And this series is just full of crazy antics. He still has all his abilities in this other world and everything. It's hilarious because whenever he meets a new character, magic exists in this world, but apparently he doesn't have any magic himself. So all the stuff he does, all his powers and stuff, is kind of like to the characters that live in this world are a bit bizarre. But he becomes caught up in this whole plot involving these like demon seeds that are taking people over, and he's talking about this young sorcerer, Idra. Sorry, I had to look up her name. It's been a little minute since I watched it. Uh, her father was a big time sorcerer that worked for the king, and then was demoted and everything. And he becomes involved with her and helping her out, like kind of restore her honor and everything. And they got up in like a plot. And he's also trying to find a way back to his world. So they're learning about this like ancient hero that also came from another world that might be connected to him in some way, I believe. Um, Hopefully, it's another one where it hasn't been confirmed if we're getting a season two. Although, like the ending of the first season, kind of set up everything for season two by introducing a new character. That's a White Ranger, which I'm excited to see more of because he was voiced by my favorite dub voice actor, Aaron Dismick. So I'm very excited about season two. Hopefully we get that. Hopefully we get see more of Aaron Dismick's new character, the White Ranger, and everything. But anyways, number 7, The Red Ranger Adventures in Another World. Alright, so I know I said no new seasons of old anime on here, but spin-offs don't count. So at number 6, we have My Hero Academia Vigilantes. Giving fans of My Hero Academia something to look forward to now that the series is over. They, in fact, just started season 2. Only 2 episodes in on that one. But this first season was really good. The plot the plot revolves around the main character, Koichi, who wants to be a hero. He's a college age student. So if you're a little bit older and you don't really relate to the characters in the original series because they're in high school and they're a little young, this one has more like adult characters, the main characters. Anyways, he becomes part of a group of vigilantes with a idol named Popstep and a badass, almost Batman-like character named Knuckle Duster. And the three of them get involved in these street drugs that are being called Trigger. That causes people with abilities to basically go berserk and make their powers, kind of go out of control. Damn microphone. Thank you. Sorry, my microphone wasn't staying up there for a second. Anyways, they got some cool little moments. We kind of get to see like Stain's origins here a little bit and how he lost his nose and all that, which was pretty cool. So yes, at number 6, My Hero Academia Vigilantes. Definitely recommend. Definitely check it out. All right, so at number 5, I have Inexpressive Kashiwada and Expressive Uta, a little slice of life high school anime about two characters. The inexpressive Kashiwada, a young girl who barely shows any emotions, is very stoic and quiet and everything, and her classmate Uta, a character who basically is just completely out of sorts and everything. And his whole goal in life is to shock or scare Kashiwada. And as the series goes along, you kind of learn, especially from like the first episode, that there may be more to his feelings and why he's acting like this. But this is a very fun anime. I really enjoyed the dynamic between these two characters and the other characters in the series with them. With Uta's friends, kind of knowing that there's more to his feelings for Kashiwada and everything, although he will never admit to it, at least to their face. But there's a lot of funny, cute moments in the series. Definitely recommend, definitely check it out if you haven't. Very fun series. So yeah, at number 5, Inexpressive Kashiwada and Expressive Uta. That's what's on my list. So at number 4, we have Emiku MD, Doctor Detective, a little hospital anime series about the director of the investigative pathology, Emiku here, who loves solving mysteries and stuff, and ends up getting involved in certain like mysterious deaths and whatnot, and drags her assistants into all of it. This is a very fun series. If you enjoy stuff like, if you do enjoy like, if you're a person who enjoys watching series like House, I would definitely recommend this. A lot of great moments, a lot of great characters. One of my favorite moments in this series is in the first episode when we meet the main character Emiku here. Sorry for my pronunciation, by the way. She's diagnosing elements and stuff, and there's a little boy who's sick, and his mother's by his side. Well, Emiku tells the mom that she's basically feeding him too many blueberries, um, and that's like making his eyesight worse and everything, because she said the mom states that she was giving him extra vitamin A to make it better, but was basically like overdosing him with it in a way. And Emiku basically calls her out and basically calls her, not in exact words, but basically calls her a terrible mom. Well, 6 episodes later, the mom comes back, suing her for malpractice because her boy's gotten even worse and everything. And even though, the mom's being a total, like, nuisance to the doctors and everything, Amico still tries to help the boy. Come to find out, Amico realizes that the mom basically has Munchausen syndrome by proxy, and is basically making her little boy sick. And so her lawsuit gets thrown out and everything. But yeah, little stuff like that, very enjoyable. A lot of heartwarming stuff in here. So definitely check this out if you haven't. Like I said, if you like shows like House, if you're a fan of like I guess hospital series in general, then you would definitely enjoy this. So definitely go check this out. Number 4, Amicu MD, Doctor Detective. Alright, so at number 3 on my list is Alma-chan Wants to Be a Family, a series about two scientist inventors who get together and want to make a AI robot capable of doing anything. And so they design Alma-chan here, a little young girl robot who wants to just be a family and everything, and grows close to her parents here. And so they move into like a little small house in a little area of Japan where she meets many great characters, starts going to school, discovers that she kind of has a younger sister in a way, and get involved in just the daily lives of everybody that's going on. There's a lot of great moments in this series. One of my favorite episodes is when Alma Chan basically gets kidnapped, and the kidnapper is planning on holding her for ransom because after like researching her, uh, finds out about her parents and assumes they're rich and everything. And Alma Chan's response is that she basically ends up helping him become a better person and finding a job that he's good at. And it turns out one of his talents is tying rope, tying knots and stuff. So she gets him a job as like a camp counselor, teaching like knot tying lessons and stuff like that. Very fun series. Um, so I would definitely recommend this one if you haven't checked it out. But at number 3 is Alma-chan Wants to Be a Family. And second to last on the list at number 2 is the new Anne Shirley anime. This is the second time this series has been adapted based on the Anne Shirley of Green Gables books, which, if you probably read as a kid, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, I don't know. I've never read the books, I've never seen the old series, but this anime was so good and so heart touching. Definitely, if you do check this out, um, be ready to fall in love with the characters. Be ready for some heartbreak. Watching Anne grow up in Green Gables, go to school and everything. Watching her relationship grow with the main love interest Gilbert, from the beginning, where she absolutely despises him, um, up to where she starts having feelings with him but won't accept it, to the very end, where she finally accepts those feelings and finally gets with him and everything. It's so great to watch. This is another one that's very laid back. I would call this a relaxing watch. There's definitely a lot of moments that hit you in the field, especially um, the death of like one character that hits really hard because they just grow on you from the very beginning. So when their death hits, it hits very hard. So if you do watch this one, be prepared to get hit emotionally. But yes, definitely check this out if you haven't already. If you enjoy the books, if you enjoy the old anime series that came out, I believe in the 70s, maybe my date might be a little wrong there. Um, Definitely check this one out. Sorry about that. I dropped my mic again, so I apologize for headphone users. But yes, number two, Anne Shirley. Definitely check it out. And my number one pick for my favorite anime from 2025 is the anime series Witch Watch. Highly, highly recommend this series. It is a very fun watch. The plot overall revolves around a young witch named Nico who moves in with her ogre familiar Morihito, who acts as her bodyguard. Although Nico is secretly, or not very secretly, wishing for more in their relationship. And so they have other characters that move in, like Kanshi, the Tingo, Keigo the werewolf, and Miru the vampire. There's also other witches involved. So this is a series where like witches and fantasy creatures exist in the modern world and are part of everyday society. Although maybe not everybody knows about them. And Nico is a witch known as the Witch of 1,000, a very powerful witch that's only born every 1,000 years. And there are people that want her power. So Morihito and the other members of the household basically act as her bodyguard. And this series is so fun to watch. A lot of great moments, a lot of references to like other famous anime. Um, and just a huge, huge, heartwarming series that I highly recommend. Um, I gave this one a watch by myself, and I rewatched it with some friends of mine on one of my friends' Discord servers, and we definitely enjoyed this series. In fact, I just finished wrapping it up with them like a couple weeks ago after it had ended. So, anyways, definitely check this series out. If you haven't, you will enjoy this one. Alright, and that was my top 8 favorite animes that came out in the year 2025. I definitely could have added a lot more to this list. Number one was always going to be Witch Watch, but I could easily throw anything in that place, but that was one that I highly enjoyed and I highly recommend. That's one series that I could rewatch over and over again and just never get tired of it. It's a very fun watch. And hey girl, what you doing? Oh, oh, I got my puppy. Say hi, Bobby. Bobby, say hi. Bobby here. Anyways, Um, so right now, I guess this would be I'm gonna do a little bit of honorable mention here. These are series that I did enjoy, although the reason they weren't on this list mostly because I haven't finished them. So honorable mention, I only have two, Gacha Kuta and Tugen Anki. I basically would describe them as your typical shonen anime, a lot of action, you know, a lot of trauma, especially in some episodes of Gacha Kuta. We won't talk about that. But Those are two series I've been watching with some friends of mine, so we kind of only in the middle of those series. So since I didn't finish them, I didn't add them to the list. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, leave a comment down below. Um, Let me know what your favorite anime that came out last year was. Is it similar to my list? Is it a little different? Do you think yours is a little better? What do you think of my list? Just drop that down in the comments, and I will see you all in the next video. Love you guys.